Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are playing with the new release from Nomad and I am so excited. This palette takes us on a trip to Verona where the love story of Romeo and Juliet plays out, and this palette has two different sides. So it is a different concept that I've seen from Nomad before, but I'm really excited to play with it, try it out, show you some swatches, and this is the look that I got with it. So before we jump into it, if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell for notifications, new videos, and if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. But if you want to see how this palette performs and how I got this look, just keep watching. This eyeshadow palette I'm really excited for. This is from Nomad. I love how they package it up. There's always something pertaining to the theme, which this one is Romeo and Juliet. So of course you got the Shakespearean face masks. I think they're called something else, but that's just what's coming to my mind. All right, so here you got Verona, which is where the story of Romeo and Juliet takes place. And then there's a bunch of different information in here. So there's always a little postcard with a note and details. So the destination made famous by the story of Romeo and Juliet, Verona with its picturesque piazzas, charming cafes, and immaculate architecture is the perfect setting for any love story. And it's fitting because February, Valentine's Day, whatever your opinion is of Valentine's Day, some people think it's made up by the Hallmark card companies, others have other theories. But everyone, for the most part, a lot of people celebrate Valentine's Day on February 14th. This says, follow the story from Juliet's balcony in the house of Romeo to the tomb where the tragedy unfolds, all the while enjoying the city's amorous gems along the way. So it's, for the palette, it's fiery love and sorrowful death. Love blossoms on the left with pink blushes and rich roses turning into intense reds and scarlets of passionate love. Death consumes the right with cool tones of woeful grays, tragic blues, deep violets, and the completeness of black. 12 mattes and 6 shimmers. So that's a lot of information just on a little postcard note, which I think is cool. So when you're looking at the card, it has the tomb and then her balcony. Oh, there's a thing in here for the Juliet Club Verona. There is a place in Verona where people who suffer can leave a message to ask Juliet for help. Well, they sent an envelope for you to send a letter to Juliet that she will respond and give you advice. That's actually a really interesting concept. Like I said, I love Nomad for putting in those small details, and you learn a little bit about the place that the palette is supposed to be inspired by. Now, this is the package for the palette itself. It's very beautiful. And then of course it shows you the color story on the back. So the destination is Verona, Italy. The coordinates are Juliet's balcony, and the inspiration is love and death. There's more details on the back, but this video would be a half hour long if I read every detail. So definitely go and check it out. If you like the look that we come up with or the swatches that I have for you, definitely go and pick it up from the Nomad website. So this is the palette, and I've never seen one of their palettes where it opens in the center. So it has a mirror on one side. Oh, and they always have this tissue paper to kind of protect. All right, so there's 2 mirrors, and then this is our color story. Ooh, I kind of, looking at this, kind of want to mix the 2 sides. And there's nothing saying that I'm not allowed to. Because looking at the shade Tragedy, which is kind of like a purpley black, and then the shade Cupid, which looks like it's a bluish purple shift, those two look like they would be a stunning Valentine's collaboration. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna swatch. Shimmers can dictate a lot, but I'm looking at the pressings in here. You have the tomb, fire, poison, a rose, like. So if you can see the pressings, I feel like there's a lot of details going in here. Oh, look at that. All right, let's swatch some of these shimmers and see what we want to play around with. If you notice my voice is a little dry or raspy, I think that's the word. I went for a run today. It was 23 degrees out. So breathing in for the first time in the cold air, running outside for about a mile, because I haven't ran in a couple months, my voice is pretty raspy. So these are the first 4 shades, and this one is the one that I was looking at first. So this shade right here is Cupid, and it's pink leaning blue. It is a beautiful shift. This next shade is Moors, really pretty limey green. Ooh, I really like that. It's kind of like Peridot, which is my birthstone. Then we have Romeo. That it is quite interesting. It's red with like a pinky glitter shift. And then you have Juliet, really pretty pale blue, kind of like a cerulean. All right, we're gonna go ahead and swatch that right here. All right, now looking at these swatched, the red one right here looks like it not only has pink, but also blue glitter in it. It's interesting. Okay, and then the last 2. This one is Comedy. It is red shifting orange. And that is so vibrant and stunning. And then Tragedy. This shade I absolutely want to play with. I don't know what other shades I'm going to work with. I think Cupid is definitely one of them, but I think this purple shade, along with this one right here, will be beautiful. So let's go ahead and swatch those right there. These are really pretty. Let me know if you guys have picked up this palette, if you were looking at it, if you were contemplating. I'm really quite intrigued by Nomad's eyeshadow palettes, and they seem to put one out a month. They don't just inundate the market with eyeshadow palettes, and they are very well researched. But let me figure out what I want to do here, and we'll dive into this eyeshadow look. Originally, when I was looking at this palette, I thought that my first look would definitely be the Love side, the reds, the pinks, and based off of the shades that I swatched, I'm going with predominantly Death. It's not a bad decision. I think it's really pretty anyways. So I'm going to, because I can close off this palette a little bit, I'm going to start with this shade Dark and place this in my crease first, and then blend out the edge with a lighter shade. So I am going to pick it up with my compacted smudger, place it where I want it to be so I can get this shape before I start to blend everything out. This purple is so pretty. It does have like an under hue of red, kind of like a Merlot, but I'm not mad at it. I really like this shade. And I'm interested to see how it looks with the 2 shimmers I want to use. I'm trying to keep it low in the crease because the lighter shade is going to be a little bit higher, and I don't want to blow it out too much with the dark shade. And I do like using my dark shades on the wet, tacky eyeshadow primer. That way I get a better payoff with the colors, and they're not so subdued, or they don't just blend themselves out. They just seem to be more vibrant. I've been doing that a lot lately. I think when I started my channel, the thing was to put setting powder on top of it and then put your eyeshadows, and I was like, why would we do that? This trend started to change, because that's not what I would do. That's not what I would do. I would actually not use eyeshadow primer sometimes. I would like do my foundation all over my face, and then I would do eyeshadow primer on top of the foundation, but I never got into the trend of like concealer as primer. All right, so we have an interesting shape so far. I think I just need this corner to come out a little bit more. I know that I have plenty of product on my eye. I just don't want to add more to it yet. The next shade I'm going to go into is Dagger. I love the pressing on that. It's really pretty. And this one I'm going to use my fluffy crease brush and just kind of smoke out the edges a little bit. I'm just going to go above dark. It's trying to blend out really pretty. It's just this outer corner that doesn't want to like blend out a little bit. See, I'm starting to get the fade right here. I'm gonna go into the shade Death. I'm gonna pick this up on a pencil brush and just in the outer V, ever so slightly, deepen it up. See, I don't need it to be overly smoky. I just need a hint. I'll probably bring it out a little bit more in the corner just to give some angle. And of course, right up here, I'll put some of that purple back in, the shade Dark, right here on this edge. I really like that. Okay, now I'm gonna go into the shade Tragedy. This one I want to see if I can pick up with a dry brush, but I tend to go in with my finger anyways just to get more color payoff, but it's worth it to try. Ooh, that shade. I love that shade. And then with the purple on the outside, just beautiful. And of course, I'll put more of that purple back in and then the black. Now, switching over to the Love side. Okay, I'm gonna go into the shade Cupid. This one, I'm gonna pick up on my ring finger. I'm gonna start at the inner corner and bring it over and then marry the two. Oh, look at that shade. Do you see it? Okay, so I like how it's like marrying into it and I get the blue kind of up here and then this duo shift. Oh, it's quite beautiful. I don't know if the camera is doing it justice, you guys. I am gonna see if I can pick up Cupid on a dry brush just because I wanna finesse the inner corner a little bit more, but I'm afraid that it's not going to. Okay, it picked up a little bit just because my finger doesn't get into the inner corner that well. All right, let me do some face products, this eye, and I'll be back for the rest of it. Okay, I'm back so we can finish off the under eye, and I'm absolutely loving this eyeshadow look. I'm also really excited to try out some of these other shades. That'll be another time though. Okay, starting out, I'm gonna use the shade Dagger, and I'm gonna use it on my little smudger brush. I'm gonna place it and then smudge it out because I think I get better payoff that way. Now going into the shade Dark. This is only gonna go until about just a quarter of the way in. I'm also gonna go into my smudge brush and just put a little bit of it in to the outer V, just to make it cohesive. And then into the shade Death, also on my little pencil brush. Just a smidge underneath, not too much. I don't want it to overpower the other shades. I'm really digging this. Now, for the inner corner, I kind of want to use the green shade. So I'm going to put this green shade Moors into the inner corner. Not necessarily the brow bone. I'll use my highlighter for that. But I'm interested to see what the green looks like against all the purple. Yeah, no, it does not want to pick up. So one of my favorite things to do is use setting spray. And honestly, any setting spray will do. That didn't pick it up. Let's see. My little like silicone spatula, because it's like a glitter shade. Will that work? Ooh, that kind of worked. Oh, that definitely worked. This brush I just picked up at Sephora a couple of years ago. I've seen them since then at Sephora. Ooh, I really like that green right there. All right, so I have no words. I am probably gonna replicate this a couple different times because I love this look. I wanna say in all of the videos I have done, this is probably one of my favorites. Let me know your thoughts. I wasn't sure about the pop of green. I have done like a vibrant color before and ruined a look. At least I thought I did. But if you were not planning on picking up this palette before and this changed your mind, please let me know because I'm loving this look. For the brow bone though, I'm gonna dip into my After Sex Glow Hello Halo Blushlighter from, what is this, Wet n Wild? It's one of the ones that survived the declutter. It's what I have on my cheeks right now. I have made a promise to myself that I will reach into the things that survived the declutter because I don't want to waste them. I kept them for a reason. I keep reaching for the same things over and over. So that's where we're at so far in 2023 is trying to use up some of the products that I have that I couldn't bring myself to get rid of. I think all we need is brows, liner, mascara, and some lips, and we'll be done. So let me go do that and I'll be back with the final look. Okay, you guys, I am back and this is the final look. I really like how it turned out. I feel like with liner and lashes, not false lashes, I did mascara. It made it so much better, especially just like filling in my brows to like frame the eye look. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Do you like this? Is it something that you would like to replicate? Are you going to pick up this palette from Nomad, which I love the cover. It has like a holographic kind of feel to it, especially when you look at it on camera. But it is a very interesting palette. I like the concept, especially if you're in Verona, and that is the love story of Romeo and Juliet. You have mirrors on both sides of this palette, and then the color story. Look at this color story. I really like what I came up with, and then reaching into that green shade just in the inner corner, I feel like amplified it. Sometimes I can use words, but I think overall this entire palette is really pretty. I do want to play with the red shades and see what I can come up with that, but I'm drawn to my eyes today. Let me know your thoughts. Are you picking it up? Is it in your collection already? And which side is your favorite? Do you like all the colors? Do you have one side that you like more? Let me know down in the comments. But you guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell for notifications of new videos. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. And until my next video, you guys, bye. I'll see you in the next one.